In this video, let's go ahead and practice multiplying some decimals together using the standard algorithm. All right, so first off, for number 1, we have 49 and 8/10, and we're going to multiply that by 5. Now we need to think of which number has more digits. It's going to be this 49.8. It has 3 digits, so let's go ahead and ignore the decimal and think about this as just 498. So we'll have 498 on our first line, has more digits, so it goes on top. We're multiplying this by 5, which only has 1 digit, so we're going to put that on bottom in the ones place. All right, so think about it this way. We'll ignore the decimal and then rethink about it in a little bit. So first off, 5 times 8, that's going to be 40. Let's go ahead and put the 0 down here, carry the 4 into the tens place. Then we have this 5 multiplied by 9. It's going to be 45. 45 plus this 4 is going to be 49. Go ahead and put that 9 in the tens place and then carry the 4 into the hundreds place. And then finally, 5 times this 4 is going to be 20, plus this 4 is going to be 24. We'll put the 4 in the hundreds place and then the 2 in the thousands place. So this is going to be the product if we were ignoring the decimals. But however, we have to see how many place values we had in the original problem. Looks like there was only 1 decimal place in the original problem. So we need to move from the right in our product and put 1 decimal place in our product or our answer here. So our final answer here is just going to be 249.0, but we can also just ignore that 0 and say this is equal to 249. Let's try another one together. For number 2, we have 5 and 84 hundredths, and that looks like it has 3 digits. We have a 5, an 8, and a 4. We're going to multiply that by 2. Now, 584 is what we're going to think about this as if we ignore the decimals. It has 3 digits, and then the second number here is just 2. So that one is easy enough. We're going to put that 2 in that ones place here, and let's just go ahead and multiply this 2 by each of the numbers. So 2 times 4, that's going to equal 8. Put that on bottom here. Then take this 2 and multiply by this 8. That's going to be 16. We'll put the 6 in the tens place, 1 in the hundreds place. Then finally, 2 times 5 is going to be 10, plus this 1, which is going to be 11. Put the 1 in the hundreds place, then 1 in the thousands place. Now, before we write that as our answer, we need to see that we actually had 2 decimal places in our original problem. So we have to go to look at our product and move this decimal 2 spots to the left. So our answer here is going to be 11 and 68 hundredths. Here's another one. If we look at number 3, it looks like we have this 482 thousandths. So this one actually has 3 digits here. I'm going to multiply that by 32. Now, for the 482 thousandths, let's just go ahead and ignore the decimals and write that as 482 for now. Okay, ignore the decimals. And then for the 32, let's go ahead and take that 32 and just rewrite it and line up our place value. So we have 32. Awesome. So let's go ahead and multiply and ignore the decimals for now, and then we'll use those later. So let's start with this 2 on the bottom. So 2 times this 2, that's going to be 4. Let's go ahead and put that right beneath. Then take this 2 and then multiply it by this 8. That's 16. Go ahead and put this 6 over here and then carry the 1. Next, we'll take this 2 and multiply it by 4. That's going to be 8 plus the 1 is going to be 9. Put that 9 right underneath here. At this point, we are done multiplying this 2 by each of the top numbers, and we're done using this 1. Now it's time to focus on this 3. But remember, this 3 is in the tens place, so it's really representing 30, so make sure you put a placeholder there. And now it's a 3's turn. So 3 times this 2, that's going to be 6. Go ahead and put this 6 underneath. Next, we're going to take this 3, multiply by 8, that's going to be 24. Let's go ahead and put this 4 and then carry the 2. And then finally, we take this 3 and multiply by 4. That's going to be 12. And then 12 plus this 2 is going to be 14. Put the 4 here and then put this 1 right next to it. At this point, we're going to go ahead and add these partial products together. Go ahead and do that. So this is one of our partial products. This is our second partial product. So if we go ahead and add 4 plus 0, that's going to equal 4. Then we're going to go ahead and add 6 plus 6. That's going to be 12. We'll put the 2, carry the 1. After that, we have 1 plus 9 is going to be 10. 10 plus 4 is 14. Put the 4 and then carry the 1. Then we have 1 plus 4. That's going to equal 5. And then finally, we can take this 1 over here and just bring it straight down. All right, so we have our product. We just need to figure out where our decimal goes. So how many decimal places did we have to begin with? It looks like we had 1, 2, and 3 decimal places. So let's go ahead and move the decimal 1, 2, and 3 decimal places in. So our product here is going to be 15 and 424 thousandths. Here's number 4. For number 4, we have 59 and 3/10. That's this number right over here, has 3 digits, and we're going to multiply this by 26. Now, if we go ahead and take this 59 and 3/10, ignore the decimal, let's think about it as 593 for just a few moments here, and then we can take a look at this 26. It's 2 digits. Let's go ahead and put that right underneath and line up the place values. Okay, so let's start with the 6 here, multiply by 3. 6 times 3, that's going to be 18. Let's put that 8 right underneath and put the 1 over here. Then take the 6, multiply by 9, that's 54 plus 1. It's going to be 55. We'll put the 5, then carry the 5. After that, take the 6 and then multiply it by 5. That's going to be 30. 30 plus this 5 is going to be 35. We'll put the 5 and put the 3 right next to it. Alrighty, so at this point we can see that we use this 6 and multiply by all the numbers on top. And then we're done using these little numbers here. Let's go ahead and take a look at this 2, which is really just 20 because it's in the tens place, so make sure you have that placeholder. And now this 2 is going to multiply by each of the numbers up top. So 2 times 3, that's going to equal 6. Put that 6 right over here. And 2 times 9, that's going to be 18. Let's go ahead and put that 8 and then carry the 1. And then finally, 2 times 5 is going to be 10 plus the 1. That's going to be 11. Put the 1 here and the 1 here. We have our 2 partial products here. Here's the first one. Here's the second one. Then we're going to go ahead and add these 2 partial products together. So 8 plus 0, it's going to be 8. 5 plus 6, that's going to be 11. Put the 1, carry the 1. 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 8 is going to be 14. So I'll put a 4 here. Carry the 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 1 is going to be 5. So we're going to put a 5 here. And then finally we have this 1. We can bring that straight down. All right, so our product here, we have to think about decimal places. We just have 1 decimal place, it looks like, in our original problem. So we need to have just 1 decimal place in our product here. So I believe our product here is going to be 1,541 and 8/10. Here's number 5. For number 5, we have 5/10, and we're going to multiply that by 3 and 58/100ths. Now, which one has more digits? Well, I think it's going to be this 3 and 58/100ths. It has 3 digits. Let's just think about it as 358 for now. And if we take a look at our other factor, other number we're multiplying, this 5/10 really just has 1 digit. We can ignore the 0 in front, doesn't make a difference, so we can think about it as 5. All right, so let's get started. 5 times 8, that's going to be 40. Go ahead and put the 0 in the 1's place, carry that 4 to the 10's place. 5 times 5 is going to be 25 plus this 4 is going to be 29. We'll put the 9, carry the 2. Finally, we'll take this 5 and multiply it by 3. That's going to be 15 plus the 2. That's going to be 17. Put the 7, carry the 1. Now, what about place values? Well, we have 1 place value from this 5/10, and we have these 2 place values from the 58/100ths. So that means we have to have a total of 3 place values in our answer. So we'll move it over 1, 2, then 3 times. So it looks like this is what our product would be. It would be 1 and 790 thousandths. But you can also go ahead and ignore this 0 at the end if you would like to, and say this is 1 and 79 hundredths. So that would be a perfectly fine answer too. Here's number 6. For number 6, we have 9 and 5/10, and we're multiplying by 4 and 18/100ths. Now, this 4 and 18/100ths has 3 digits. Let's go ahead and ignore that decimal and think about that as 418 for just a little bit here. And then for our other factor, number we're multiplying is going to be 9 and 5/10. That is 2 digits, so let's go ahead and put those in the correct place values. So let's go ahead and multiply here. We'll start off with this 5, and this 5 multiplied by 8, that's going to be 40. Let's go ahead and put the 0, then carry the 4 up top in the 10's place. Then 5 times 1 is going to be 5, plus this 4, that'll be 9. So go ahead and put the 9 in the 10's place. Then we'll take this 5 and then multiply by this 4, and that's going to be 20. So we're going to put a 0 in the hundreds place and then a 2 in that thousands place. So at this point, we are done working with this 5. It's done its job. We used this 4 already, so we can go ahead and focus on this 9, which is really just 90. So that's why the 0 is over here for the place value. Make sure you do that on your own in the future. And so let's go ahead and take this 9 and multiply by each number up top. So 9 times this 8, that's 72. So go ahead and put a 2 in the 10's place and carry the 7. Let's go ahead and take this 9, multiply by 1 now. That's still 9. 9 plus that 7 is going to be 16. We'll put a 6, and then we'll carry the 1 into the hundreds place. Then 9 times this 4 is going to be 36, plus the 1 is going to be 37. So we'll put the 7, then put that 3 right next to it. All right, so at this point we have our two partial products. Here's our first one, here is our second one. Let's go ahead and add these partial products together. So 0 and 0, it's still going to be 0. Then 9 and 2 together, if we add them, that's 11. We'll put the 1, carry another 1. 1 plus 0 is still going to be 1, plus the 6 is going to be 7. Put a 7 down here. Then we have 2 plus 7, that's going to be 9. And then finally we have this 3 over here we can put right next to it. So what about the decimal that we ignored earlier? Well, we had one decimal place we ignored here. We had two decimal places we ignored over here. So that's a total of 3 decimal places. So if we go ahead and move our decimal 1, 2, and 3 spots to the left. So we can think about our product or our answer here as 39 and 710 thousandths. But you can also ignore the 0 at the end because an equivalent value for this would be 39 and 71 hundredths. So you can write your final answer like that. All right, here is number 7. For number 7, we have 28 hundredths multiplied by 54 and 8 tenths. Now 54 and 8 tenths does have 3 digits, so let's ignore the decimal, but it has more digits, so we're going to put 548 on our top row here. And then for our second factor, we have this 28 hundredths that has 2 digits. Don't worry about that 0 in front, doesn't make a difference. So we're going to think about that as 28. All right, so let's get started. 8 times 8 is going to be 64. Let's go ahead and put that 4, carry the 6 over here. Then 8 times 4, that's 32. 32 plus the 6 is going to be 38. So we'll put the 8 in the tens place, carry the 3 into the hundreds. And then we have 8 times 5, that's going to be 40 plus the 3, that's going to be 43. So we'll put the 3 here and put the 4 right next to it. At this point, the 8 has done its job, and so have these little numbers up top that we carried. This 2 over here is actually a 20, so make sure you put your own zeros in there. That's your placeholder. And let's take this 2 and multiply by each number. So 2 times 8, that's going to be 16. Go ahead and put this 6 right over here and carry the 1. Then we'll take this 2, multiply by 4, that's 8, plus this 1, that's going to give us a 9. And then we have this 2 times the 5, and that's going to be 10. So we're going to put a 0 and then a 1 down here. All right, so it looks like we have our two partial products. This was 8 times everything on top, and then this was the 20 times everything on bottom. We're going to go ahead and add these two partial products. So 4 plus 0 is going to be 4. Then we have 8 plus 6, that's going to be 14. Let's go ahead and put that 4 down here, carry the 1. Then 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 9 is going to be 13. Go ahead and put a 3 here and carry the 1. Then we have 1 plus 4, which is going to be 5, plus 0 is still going to be 5. And last but not least, we have this 1 over here, and that's going to come straight down. So what about place values? Well, it looks like we ignored 2 place values from over here and then 1 from over here. So we should have 3 place values in our product. So we're going to have our final product here of 15 and 344 thousandths. That should be our product or our answer. All right, final problem here. We have number 8. For number 8, we have 48 hundredths, and we're going to go ahead and multiply this by 762 thousandths. Now, this 762 thousandths, ignoring that 0 in front, looks like we have 3 digits. So let's think about that as 762. And then if we go ahead and take a look at our 48 hundredths, that has 2 digits. Again, you could ignore that 0 in front, so that's going to be 48. All right, we'll worry about those decimals in a little bit. So 2 times 8 is going to be 16. So let's go ahead and put that 6, carry the 1. Next, we have 8 times 6, which is 48, plus this 1. It's going to be 49. Put that 9, carry the 4. After that, we have 8 times 7, which is going to be 56. 56 plus this 4 is going to be 60. So we'll go ahead and put a 0 and then a 6 next to it. This 8 we're done with, as well as these 1 and 4. And we can take a look at this 4 now, which is really representing 40. So make sure you put a place value here. And just make sure you put that placeholder rather. And then 4 times 2, that's going to be 8. Let's go ahead and put an 8 right over here. Then we have this 4 times 6, which is 24. We'll put that 4 and carry the 2. And one final time, we're going to do 4 times 7. That's going to be 28 plus this 2, and that should be 30. Put 3 and 0 right over here. All right, so we have our two partial products. This was 8 times 762, and this was 40 times 762. Let's go ahead and add these two partial products. So this is going to be 6 plus 0, which is going to be 6. Then we have 9 plus 8, and that is going to be 17. Put the 7 and carry the 1. Then we have 1 plus 0, which is 1, plus the 4. That's going to get us 5. Then we have 6 plus 0, that's going to be 6. And then this 3 over here we can bring straight down. We're just going to have a 3 here. Now what about for how many decimal places we have? Looks like 4,800, so we ignored 2. And then we ignored 3 more decimal places over here, so that's a total of 5 decimal places we ignored. So let's go ahead and take an account for those and move those in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So our final product here, you could put the 0 if you want, but it's going to be 0 and put a 3, 6, 5, 7, and 6. Okay, so how do you read that? Well, let's think about a place value. This is the tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths, 100,000ths. So this would be 36,576 100,000ths. Alrighty, so there you have 8 different practice problems on multiplying some decimals. Hopefully kind of organizing it in these boxes helped a little bit. If you found the video helpful, please consider giving it a thumbs up and sharing with a classmate who might also find it helpful. And as always, keep up the great work that you're already doing, and I'll see you in the next one.